Jean-Claude Van Damme, one of the foremost action heroes of the 1980s and early 1990s, made a name for himself with iconic films like Bloodsport and Universal Soldier. Known as the Muscles from Brussels, he spin-kicked and splits-punched his way through countless enemies, sometimes delivering a ruthless crotch punch when the mood struck. However, every star has a weak spot, and for Van Damme, it was his tragic addiction to cocaine. This crippling habit nearly destroyed him, threatening to end his career and his life. Here's the true story of the addiction that almost killed Jean-Claude Van Damme. Let's take a thrilling journey back to October 18, 1960, in the picturesque Berchem Saint-Agathe, Brussels, where Jean-Claude Van Damme, born Jean-Claude Camille François van Varenberg, first entered the world. His parents, Eleonore and Eugene van Varenberg, had a unique blend of professions. Eugene balanced numbers as an accountant and nurtured plants as a florist. Van Damme's cultural background is just as intriguing. His father was a bilingual Brussels native, while his mother was a Dutch-speaking Flemish woman. Adding to the mix, his paternal grandmother was Jewish, and he was raised Roman Catholic. The spark for martial arts ignited in Van Damme at the tender age of 10, thanks to his father's decision to enroll him in a Shotokan karate school. This early start in martial arts saw him master both Shotokan karate and kickboxing, earning his black belt by 18 and achieving the rank of second dan black belt. But Van Damme didn't stop there. He also took up weightlifting to sculpt his physique, which paid off when he clinched the title of Mr. Belgium in bodybuilding. At 16, Van Damme added a surprising twist to his training regimen: ballet. He dedicated 5 years to mastering this demanding art form. Van Damme himself has said, "Ballet is an art, but it's also one of the most difficult sports. If you can survive a ballet workout, you can survive a workout in any other sport." Career. At the age of 12, Van Damme joined the National Center of Karate in Belgium. After 4 years of training, he earned a spot on the Belgian karate team and later trained in full-contact karate and kickboxing. Van Damme described his childhood as tough, stating that he was not physically gifted. At 15 years old, Van Damme began his competitive karate career in Belgium and achieved a record of 44 victories and 4 defeats in tournament and non-tournament matches from 1976 to 1980. He was a member of the Belgium karate team when they won the European Karate Championship in 1979. In the Challenge Coupe des Espoirs karate tournament, Van Damme placed second after defeating 25 opponents before losing to teammate Angelo Spatoro in the finals. He also had a notable match against his former teammate Patrick Tugels, whom he had previously lost to twice. In this match, Van Damme won by TKO in the first round, a victory he considers his most memorable. Van Damme started his full-contact career in 1977 when he participated in the first ever full-contact karate tournament in Belgium. By 1982, he had an impressive record of 18 victories, 18 knockouts, and only 1 defeat. Van Damme retired from competition that same year. Outside of his martial arts career, Van Damme had an uncredited role in a Belgian-French drama film in 1979 and caught the attention of professional karate magazine publisher Mike Anderson and European champion Guy Lemons in 1980. He retired from competition in 1982, and before moving to the United States, he sold flowers in restaurants and opened a gym called California Gym. The gym offered various fitness programs and was successful, making $15,000 per month at its peak. Despite his father's disbelief, Van Damme decided to sell the gym and pursue his career in America. Overall, Van Damme's early life was marked by his dedication to martial arts, his successful competitive career, and his entrepreneurial ventures in the fitness industry. In 1982, Jean-Claude Van Damme and his childhood friend Michel Kissy moved to the United States with dreams of becoming actors. To support themselves, they took on various jobs, including working as extras in the film Breakin' 1984. At the same time, Van Damme formed a friendship with action star Chuck Norris and started training with him. He also worked as a bouncer at Norris Bar and took up jobs as a limousine driver and karate instructor. Van Damme faced financial difficulties during his early days in the US. Except for $2,000, he had put all his money from selling his gym into a European bank. To cope with the stress, he went for nightly runs in Santa Monica and trained at Gold's Gym. He diligently participated in casting calls and had a routine where he sent out his picture and resume on Thursdays in response to advertisements he found in Dramalogue magazine. To make himself more appealing to movie studios, Van Damme went to extremes. He would call studios pretending to be an actor from Brussels with an investor from Hong Kong, and even fabricated stories of needing additional funding for movie projects. His intention was simply to meet people and gain exposure, rather than secure actual deals. Despite the challenges, Van Damme persevered in his pursuit of success in the film industry. Jean-Claude Van Damme, known for his roles in action films, had a small role in the 1984 movie Missing in Action as part of the stunt team crew. He also appeared in the comedy short film Monaco Forever that same year. It wasn't until 1986 that Van Damme landed a significant role in Corey Ewan's martial arts film No Retreat, No Surrender. The movie follows a US teenager named Jason Stillwell who learns karate to defend his martial arts dojo against a Soviet martial artist played by Van Damme. Although the plan was for Van Damme and Kurt McKinney to star in the sequel, No Retreat, No Surrender 2, they backed out. Van Damme was originally cast as the alien in John McTiernan's film Predator, but was eventually replaced by Kevin Peter Hall. Van Damme expressed dissatisfaction with the hot and uncomfortable monster suit and his limited on-screen appearance. The role required a more physically imposing actor, and Hall was chosen instead. Despite missing out on the role, Van Damme later expressed appreciation for the movie's success. Van Damme's breakout film was Bloodsport in 1988, which was based on the alleged true story of Frank Dux. The film portrays US Army Captain Frank Dux, who competes in an illegal martial arts tournament in Hong Kong. Bloodsport became a box office hit and established Van Damme as a martial arts star. The producer of the film noted that Van Damme appealed to both men and women, as he was seen as a hero fighting for justice. At the time of casting, Van Damme was facing financial hardship and had even resorted to stealing food to survive. In the same year, he portrayed another Russian villain in Black Eagle, alongside Sho Kosugi. After the success of Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme was offered the lead role in several films by Cannon Films. He chose to star in Cyborg, a cyberpunk martial arts film directed by Albert Pyun, which premiered in 1989. The film was a low-budget success and led to 2 sequels, in which Van Damme did not appear. Cannon Films cast Van Damme again in Kickboxer, released the same year as Cyborg. The film was highly successful, earning over $50 million on a $3 million budget. This marked the start of the Kickboxer franchise. Van Damme did not appear in any of the films for sequels, but did return as a different character in the reboot series. In 1990, Van Damme starred in Death Warrant, which was the first script credit for David S. Goyer. He also appeared in Lionheart, directed by Sheldon Lettick, who co-wrote Bloodsport. Lionheart was considered a breakthrough for Van Damme, showing that he could be more than just a karate guy in low-budget movies. The film also featured rear nudity from Van Damme, which became a memorable moment for the audience. In 1991, Double Impact was released, with Van Damme playing the dual role of estranged twin brothers seeking revenge for their parents' deaths. The film received mixed reviews, but was a commercial success, grossing over $30 million in the US. Retrospective critics see it as a fun action film with good comedic moments and a strong performance by Van Damme. The following year, Van Damme starred in Universal Soldier, one of the biggest blockbusters of 1992. Directed by Roland Emmerich, the film follows Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren as reanimated soldiers in a secret army project. The film was a moderate success domestically, but became a major blockbuster worldwide, earning over $100 million on a budget of $23 million. Van Damme was also considered for roles in Demolition Man and Heat, but did not ultimately appear in either film. Jean-Claude Van Damme had a successful string of films in the 1990s. In 1993, he had a cameo in Last Action Hero and starred in Nowhere to Run as part of a 3-picture deal with Columbia Pictures. His fee for Nowhere to Run was $3.5 million. Columbia praised the film for appealing to both Van Damme's audience and reaching beyond it. The following year, Van Damme starred in the action film Hard Target, which marked director John Woo's first American film. He also appeared in Time Cop, a sci-fi film about a time-traveling cop. Time Cop was a massive success, grossing over $100 million worldwide and remains Van Damme's highest-grossing film. In 1994, Van Damme starred in Street Fighter, based on the popular video game. While the film was a commercial success, it received negative reviews from critics. Van Damme then collaborated with director Peter Hyams for the film Sudden Death in 1995. The film follows a firefighter-turned-fire marshal who becomes caught up in a hostage situation. It was moderately successful. In 1996, Van Damme directed and starred in The Quest. Although it didn't perform well domestically, it was successful internationally. He also made a guest appearance on the TV show Friends and starred in Maximum Risk, directed by Ringo Lam. Van Damme continued his career with Double Team in 1997, a sci-fi action film co-starring basketball superstar Dennis Rodman. The following year, he reunited with director Tsui Hark for the film Knock Off, but it was a box office disappointment. Van Damme also acted in the war film Legionnaire, but it was not released theatrically in the US. In 1999, Van Damme starred in Universal Soldier: The Return, reprising his role as Luke Devereaux. The film underperformed at the box office. He also appeared in Inferno. In 2001, Van Damme thrilled audiences with Replicant, his second collaboration with director Ringo Lam, marking the 5th time he tackled a dual role. That same year, he also starred in The Order, directed by Sheldon Lettich. The action continued in 2002 with Derailed, and in 2003, Van Damme took on a gritty prison action film, In Hell, again teaming up with Ringo Lam. Adding a twist to his career, he showcased his dancing skills in a music video that year. The action didn't stop in 2004 with Wake of Death, directed by Philippe Martinez and co-starring Simon Yam and Valerie Tuen. In 2005, he appeared in Narco, followed by Second in Command in 2006. Van Damme's 2008 film JCVD earned him critical acclaim, with Time magazine praising his performance. That year, he also starred in The Shepherd, Border Patrol. In 2009, Van Damme returned to one of his iconic roles in Universal Soldier: Regeneration, which received positive reviews, cementing his status as a beloved action star. In 2010, Jean-Claude Van Damme took the reins as director and star of the little-known film Full Love. That same year, he made headlines by turning down a role in The Expendables, a part that eventually went to Dolph Lundgren. In 2011, Van Damme lent his voice to the character Master Krak in Kung Fu Panda 2 and co-starred in Assassination Games. He also showcased his comedic chops in the French film Le Beurre sur la Ville and gave fans a glimpse into his life with his reality TV show, Behind Closed Doors. Although Van Damme planned a boxing comeback against Somluck Kamsing, the fight has been repeatedly postponed, casting doubt on whether it will ever happen. In 2012, Van Damme's filmography expanded with roles in the Russian comedy Rihevsky vs. Napoleon, the sci-fi thriller UFO, the action-packed Dragon Eyes, the intense Universal Soldier: Day of Reckoning, and the gripping Six Bullets. Actor Jean-Claude Van Damme faced two formidable foes, himself and a severe cocaine addiction. At the height of his dependency, he was reportedly consuming up to 10 grams of cocaine daily, a habit that nearly derailed his career. Despite his performance in the critically panned 1994 film adaptation of Street Fighter, he pocketed a hefty $7 million. However, his success with Time Cop went to his head, prompting him to demand salaries on par with Jim Carrey's, a move that ultimately backfired. In a candid 1998 interview with EW, Van Damme shared a harrowing near-death experience in a Hong Kong hotel room. High on cocaine, he found himself scribbling down his fears and struggles, feeling as though he was on the brink of death and questioning his very identity. This terrifying moment served as a wake-up call, sparking a turnaround in his life. Jean-Claude Van Damme's personal life is as dynamic as his film career. He has been married 5 times to 4 different women. Until 1992, he was married to his 3rd wife, bodybuilder Gladys Portugues, with whom he has 2 children, Christopher, born in 1987, and Bianca Brigitte, born in 1990. Following their split, he married actress Darcy Lapierre in February 1994, and they had a son named Nicholas, born on October 10, 1995. In a twist worthy of a movie plot, Van Damme had an affair with his Street Fighter co-star Kylie Minogue during filming in Thailand that same year. Lapierre, pregnant with their son at the time, only learned about the affair when Van Damme publicly admitted it in 2012. Van Damme's personal life continued to make headlines. In October 2016, he expressed his support for Donald Trump in the presidential election. Earlier that year, he suggested that powerful groups like the Illuminati, including the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, might try to prevent Trump from winning. Despite still being married to Gladys Portugues, Van Damme was involved in a decade-long relationship with model Elena Kavarina, who hails from Ukraine. Demonstrating his support, Van Damme visited Ukraine during the Russian invasion. By the late 1990s, Van Damme had found personal happiness, married with children and surrounded by his beloved dogs. Though he appeared in some lesser-quality films during this period, his perseverance paid off. He made a triumphant return to the spotlight with the critically acclaimed JCVD in 2008 and thrilled audiences with an epic fight scene alongside Sylvester Stallone in The Expendables 2 in 2012. Van Damme's journey is a testament to his resilience and ability to overcome life's toughest challenges.